All right, for the second part of dividing radicals, we're just going to look at when we have polynomial denominators. Now the catch is, when we were rationalizing in the last lesson, we could just multiply by the radical. But I have two different radicals here. If I multiply by root 5, it's going to eliminate that root 5, but it doesn't eliminate that root 3 at all. So the only way that I can eliminate, if it is a binomial denominator, is by multiplying by the conjugate. Now we remember from the multiplying lesson that if I take the conjugate, that means that if I have two terms that are added together, I multiply by the same two terms subtracted from each other, or vice versa. So if it says that it's root 5 minus root 3, the conjugate of that is going to be root 5 plus root 3. And if I do it in the denominator, I have to do it in the numerator so that it is still an equivalent fraction. This is going to give me, well, 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5. And 2 times root 3 is going to give me 2 root 3s. In the denominator, root 5 and root 5 makes 5. Root 5 times root 3 makes root 15. Negative root 3 and root 5 makes negative root 15. And root 3 and root 3, one's positive, one's negative, so it's going to be negative, and just 3. And I can see that that cancels out the radical in the denominator. So all I'm left with is 5 minus 3. So this is going to give me 2 root 5 plus 2 root 3, all divided by 5 minus 3 is 2. And then I can double check and see, can I simplify this at all like what we did in the previous ones? Well, look, all three terms have a common factor of 2. So I can just divide out that 2 and get root 5 plus root 3. And there's my final answer. When I get to the next one, same process. What's the conjugate of root 6 plus 2? Root 6 minus 2. So in the numerator, I'm going to have root 6 times root 6 is going to give me 6. Root 6 times negative 2 is negative 2 root 6. Negative 2 times root 6 is negative 2 root 6. And negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. In the denominator, remember, we said because it's always going to cancel out the middle two terms, I can take the first term squared, so root 6 times root 6 is just going to give me 6, minus, they always have to be subtracted from each other, just like what we had in here, minus 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. I'm going to combine the like terms on the top. So if I have 6 and 4, I have 10. And negative 2 and negative 2 gives me negative 4 root 6s. And it's all going to be divided by 2. They have a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide that 2 out to get 5 minus 2 root 6. And there's my final answer. The next one has a variable, doesn't change the process at all. I'm going to multiply by 1 plus root x. So I'm going to distribute it out in the numerator to just get 1 plus root x. And the denominator, I square the first one, 1. Positive and a negative, so it's going to be minus, and then square the second one, x. And because all four terms don't have a common factor, That is my final answer. When I get to example 2 here, same process. All they did was they added a coefficient here. Doesn't change the logic at all. So I have root 8 minus root 3, and that's being divided by 4 root 3 minus root 2. To get rid of the radicals in the denominator, I'm going to take the conjugate. 4 root 3 plus root 2. Follow my multiplying rules, so the coefficient multiplies by the coefficient, so root 8 and 4 root 3 is going to give me 4 root 24. Continue to follow it out, root 8 and root 2 gives me root 16. Negative root 3 and 4 root 3 is going to give me negative 4, and root 3 are going to make 3. Put it in brackets. And negative root 3 and root 2 is going to give me negative root 6. In the denominator, remember it's just square the first term and then subtract and then square the second term. So the first term, if I have 4 root 3, I got to remember to do 4 times 4 and root 3 times root 3. Square the coefficient and square the radical. So that's going to give me 16 bracket 3. I'm going to subtract from that. Root 2 times root 2 is just 2. Now I get into my simplifying process. So I'm going to simplify every term on the top that I can. So I have 4 root 24 is the same as 2 root 6. Square root of 16 is just 4. Minus 4 times 3 is 12. Minus root 6. All over 48 minus 2. This is going to give me 8 root 6 minus 8. Combine the like terms up here. Minus root 6 all over 46. And when I combine my root 6 and root 6, then I'm going to have 7 root 6 minus 8 over 46. No more common factors, so I am done. And the last one gives us a problem. The area of a trapezoid is given by the formula. The area is equal to 1/2 the height times a plus b, where a and b are the lengths of the parallel sides, and h is the shortest distance between the two sides. If the area of a trapezoid is 20 centimeters squared, the parallel sides are lengths root 6 and root 5. Determine the exact value of the distance between the parallel sides. So, what am I trying to solve? I'm trying to solve for h, the distance between the parallel sides. So, to start off, I'm going to take my formula. A is equal to 1 over 2 h bracket a plus b, and I'm going to isolate h. So, I'm going to divide both sides by 1/2, which is the same as multiplying by 2, and say that 2a is equal to h times a plus b. If h is being multiplied by a plus b, then I need to divide both sides by a plus b to get h by itself. So I can say that h is equal to 2 times the area, which they said was 20, divided by a plus b, we'll call a the root 6, and we'll call b the root 5. I'm going to multiply this by the conjugate to rationalize the denominator. Root 6 minus root 5. So h is going to be 2 times 20 is going to be 40. Root 6 minus root 5 all over root 6 times root 6 is 6, minus root 5 times root 5 is 5. Or 40 root 6 minus 40 root 5. And that would all be divided by 6 minus 5, which is 1, which doesn't change the answer. 40 root 6 minus 40 root 5 centimeters. And that's it.